There we are. That wasn't a schoolboy error at all. That was completely planned. Completely planned. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to We Are Tottenham TV. Make sure everyone is smashing a like before we start. It's the pre-match pump up for Tottenham versus Ferencvaros.
Ferencvaros.
Them, yeah, it's them. And I'm joined today by the fabulous Mr. Bobby K from Three Spurs Boys and Jose from Cockerell. Bobby, how are you feeling on this pump-up show?
I'm feeling great. I'm here with two of my favorite people in the YouTube community, all these wonderful Spurs fans in the chat that are all sitting here waiting for another 3 beautiful points in Europe today, waiting to go 5 for 5 and excel, and watching our Spurs just continue to climb and climb that mountain until we get to that summit, baby. We're on the way.
There we go. If that hasn't got the juices flowing, I don't know what will. Jose, how are you feeling?
I can't do as well as what Bobby did. Bobby's taken everything, all the words I had. Bobby's taken away from me. I'm
sorry, Jose. I'm just trying to emulate one of the greatest people I know in the community, which is yourself, my man.
I'm super pumped up. I always am when Tottenham play. I always look forward to it. And as I said, I've said in previous occasions, doesn't matter who we're playing. Always look forward to seeing us play. Tonight be a different game. It's going to be different to what we've played so far this season. But then every game this season is going to be different for us. And yeah, bring it on.
Yeah, indeed. I am Kate from Just to Go Love Spurs, by the way. Make sure you're subscribing to myself, Bobby, and also Jose. My husband Jimbo was due to be on with us tonight, but he's man down. He's not feeling too good, so we've got a man down. But
being said, Kate, I know it's a pop-up show, but Jim, we miss your enthusiasm, we miss your optimism, and we definitely all wish you well and hope you feel better soon, my man.
Exactly that. But massive game tonight. Obviously, before we start, got to touch on the game at the weekend. Manchester United, what a win! I still am up here. I haven't come down yet. I'm still absolutely buzzing. The media seem to be sort of harping on the fact that Manchester United were that bad. Was it that they were that bad, or did we make them look that bad, Bobby? Is it a bit of both? What do you think?
It's obvious. We made them look that bad. They had their system. They knew exactly what they were going to do. You look at the players that they have on paper. It's not like he fielded a weak lineup or anything. They have solid world-class players in that squad. And we went into their house where we've just been absolutely atrocious for, 15, 20 years? And we smacked them around like schoolboys. Ange's system is starting to work. The players are starting to understand how the inversion works, how then the other wide players, the front people go wide if they invert. It's things are coming into place, and I firmly believe that Ten Hag's system just wasn't prepared to handle Ange's system, and his tactics actually played into our favor and just really worked everything well. We were great. We were great all around the pitch. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of flack that's been given to Timo, and as far as I'm concerned, rightfully so. We had a comment earlier in the show that we were doing that. It's okay to criticize players, but it's not okay to abuse them and ridicule them. I 100% agree with that. As fans, we're expected to go into the stadium. You guys pay your money that are over there. You want results. It's like going to any other shop and buying something. You expect some form of quality for the money you've paid. So no problem with criticizing players. I firmly believe if Son was there, it would have just been 6 or 7-0. That's the only difference, really. So in reality, you're welcome, United, that we didn't play our captain. Okay? That's how nice Ange is, guys. Are you not seeing this? He was so nice. He was like, you know what? I'm going to keep out one of my best players. I'm going to give you guys a chance. What a nice guy. What a nice guy.
What a nice guy, Daddy Ange.
Daddy Ange.
Jose, what's your thoughts? Do you think it was a case that we just played a really disjointed and dysfunctional Man United, or were we really that good?
I don't know. Are we going to turn around as a fan base collectively and say everyone we play against, they were poor? They were poor. You can't say, at the end of the day, I keep saying the fixture list has been prepared by the computer start of the season. You're playing 38 games. There's an order that you're going to play in, unless there's postponements or people have gone longer in cup runs and stuff like that and have to change the fixtures. You've got to play everyone twice. And at the end of the day, it's who they put out on the pitch and who you put out on the pitch, and it's who gets the better of who. If it gets you a result, it's who gets the best of who. To me, at the end of the day, Man United have got to look after their own house, and we've got to look after our own house. Man United can select; they could have selected whatever team that they wanted at the weekend. If we impose ourselves against other teams, and we're up for it, and we impose ourselves, then people need to worry about us. Forget about the others that we're playing against. People need to worry about us. And to be quite honest, and I've said this on a few shows now, I'm getting kind of, I mean, I'm getting long in the tooth, but I'm kind of thinking to myself, why are we always worried about everybody else? When we played Man United, I heard people say, God, Rashford's gonna and Fernandes is gonna.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about what we've got? We've got tools in the box as well, you know. And so, what about worrying about what we do? Look at the players that we've got. I'm sure Man United, and I'm sure Brighton at the weekend, and I'm sure tonight Ferencvaros, their manager or their back team are going to be looking at ways. How can we get at Tottenham? Because they've got this, they've got that. Let's worry about what we can do. If we go out and impose our game, then there's no reason why we shouldn't go out and beat teams. Simple as. Worry about what we do. Forget about the rest.
There it is.
Yeah.
We have it. We have it. We said it. And on top of that, you see in the chat here, our friend here, Champion FN, has decided to say that the final of Europa League is his prediction, that it's going to be Athletic Club and Spurs in the final, and we're going to win 3-1. So instead of, we don't need to do pump-up shows anymore for the Europa League, because
That's it.
Champion FN has read the future. And while you're at it, could you do me a favor? Just send me 7 numbers from 1 to 48 that would be in the lottery. Appreciate you.
Obviously, I mean, I echo everything you said. I think as a fan base, we shouldn't ever be concentrating on whether the other team weren't good enough. We should only be worrying about ourselves. And I thought we were bloody brilliant, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting to see how many changes. As soon as the lineup comes out, we will share it. Today it came out that Paul Maddison has not made it into the England squad. Not sure what this guy's got to do. However, Solanke, as a lot of people suspected, has been given his chance. I mean, Bobby, this guy Solanke, I think he surprised a lot of fans that weren't sure about him. His link-up play's been excellent. You know, have we got ourselves a little gem here?
It's hard to say not, right? He's gone 3 for 3. Hey, there he is, Mr. Daigle. Big up, bro. Good to see you. Enjoy the game at the yard, man. Enjoy the game. He's already saying Solanke and Johnson to score.
Yeah.
I think the issue is that when you come in with £65 million price tag on your head, there's going to be people that are gunning for you then. Everything you do is going to be scrutinized, good or bad. And it's like Jose already said, even though we did so well, we're still being scrutinized. It just seems to be a thing our fan base likes to do. But it's what we do, man. We're Tottenham, baby. We got the ones that sit here and live in Delulu land that just fly around every day, looking at the rainbows and petting the unicorns. And then we got the ones that are more realistic, that it's a bit more doom and gloom kind of thing. Whoever side you're on, at the end of the day, we all want the same thing for our club, and that is results, wins, and a shiny trophy.
Oh, please.
You know, just one. Even if it's just a little guy like this, like something one of my kids would win, just a little one.
Come on.
You know, just a little guy. Right? So.
Yeah, of course, I completely concur with that. But Jose, you know, a lot of fans were saying they wanted Ivan Toney over Solanke. Solanke's now been called up for England. He's scored 3 and 3. Yep. Have we got a gem? Do you think, you know, we've got good value for money?
Solanke was a good player when he was younger anyway, and obviously came through the Chelsea academy and that, and he was a good player at the time, and he was highly rated and highly thought of. Thought his chances would be limited with the kind of strikers they had at Chelsea, and Liverpool came in for him, paid a lot of money at the time for him. Mm-hmm. And he went to Liverpool thinking that his pathway would be a bit easier than what it would have been at Chelsea at the time. However, it was not to be, because Liverpool had Torres, Suarez, they had all these other strikers, and he didn't get a look in, basically. He's learned off the Chelsea players. He's learned off the Liverpool players. Look at that lineup.
Look at that lineup. I'm sorry to cut you off, Jose, but the lineup is out, and it is
Lancashire and more to start. What?
We've got Vicario in goal, thank the Lord. Pedro Porro, Romero, Davis, and Gray. Then Sarr, Basuma, and Bergvall in the midfield, with Werner, Lancashire, and Mikey Moore making up the front three. Which, look, a lot of fans have been calling for Lancashire and Mikey Moore to start, and they're finally getting their wish. It took me by surprise. I'm not going to lie; I didn't expect them both to start. Bobby, what's your initial thoughts?
I'm actually surprised that both are starting. You figured it'd be one or the other. I honestly thought that Johnson would probably start over Moore, and I, to be honest with you, my hope was more on the left, Solanke and Johnson, because just to continue that hot streak that he's on right now. But I can understand the fact that he does need a bit of a rest. So, interesting lineup. At the end of the day, get behind it. We got 3 youngsters starting, 4 with Lancashire, Moore, Bergvall, and Gray. So this is what a lot of the fans have been.
Sarr's a youngster as well.
He's young, but he's got a couple of years with us. I'm talking about the guys that are just kind of making their impact for this is their first season really with us, kind of thing, right? So I really think it's a gamble on his part, but I can't see the bench, unfortunately. I don't have my damn glasses. Is there any way you can make that bigger?
Yeah, it's Forster, Austin, Dorrington, Van der Ven, Casanova, Bentancur, Madison, Kulusevski, Ajay, Johnson, Solanke.
Okay, so we got a few players that can come on and impact the game if necessary, if needed. So he's kind of looks like he's just holding them back for now. But it'll be interesting to see. It's going to be one of those we either come out guns blazing and these youngsters have something to prove, which is really, really, really what you want from the youngsters. You want them to show their hunger and the fact that they deserve to earn this starting spot. So that being said alone, I'm going to get behind them. And Lancashire, this kid was scoring. He came on, I remember one game in the preseason. Jose, I know you'll know this because you watched all that stuff and kept good track of it. But didn't he come on for like 7 minutes or something? He was subbed on, scored, and then subbed off right away or something. It's like, I just came on a score. I did my business. I'm out of here now. In
the preseason, Bobby, you're right. In the preseason, he was sharing game time with Veliz. So in the second half, they'd bring Lancashire on, or Lancashire, sorry. He'd play the first half of the second half or whatever, and then they'd sub him off and bring Veliz on for the other half. So that's how they were sharing their minutes in preseason.
Yeah. Max has asked why Spence isn't starting. He's actually not in the Europa League squad. But Jose, what's your thoughts on this? This is a brave lineup, a fun lineup. But
sorry, if I could just quickly, why the hell do we have 2 keepers on the bench? Again.
Good question.
That's us, mate.
Yeah, it's just who we are, mate. It's who we are.
That's just who we are, mate. Fair enough, Jose.
Before we go to Jose, just massive big up to Jason Green for the super chat. Says big up everyone going for a big win today. Come on, you Spurs. Yes, let's hope you're right. But Jose, I think this is brave of Ange. I think it's a fun lineup. We've got some big guns on the bench if needed. What do you make of this lineup?
I called the back 5. I called it because Pedro Porro was rested last week in Europe and Romero was suspended. And obviously with Dragus in suspension now, it was obvious to me that Romero and Porro would come into the lineup tonight because he's managing the minutes from those that played last week and this week out of the people that you say are starting 11. So I knew that would happen there. I did call for Davis and Gray to be playing at the back, but I thought it might have been Gray playing alongside Romero with Davis playing at left back. The midfield doesn't surprise me at all. Bissouma, Sarr and Bergvall, all 3 need minutes because the 3 starters are always going to be, if they're fit and available, is going to be Bentancur, Madders and Cooley. So the midfield has been switched up. And I said that I thought Johnson would get a rest, but I thought Solanke may have started because of the amount of minutes that Solanke has missed both in pre-season and some of the games. But in saying that, Lancashire, I'm quite surprised because Lancashire and Dorrington, who both, well, one's on the bench and one's playing, they've both just come out off the treatment table. They've both been injured and they haven't gotten many under 21 minutes. and yet they're now in the first team squad. Lancashire's starting. So, I mean, the medical team hopefully know what they're doing, and they think,
I can't believe you actually said it with a serious face. That's why I love you.
And they think his body can handle, I don't know, 60 minutes of the game because he's obviously starting. What we saw in pre-season was a breath of fresh air with some of these youngsters. That we all said at the time, a lot of people that watched the game said at the time, that these people were brave and that they looked like they knew what Ange Ball was, if you're going to call it Ange Ball. And now this is not a pre-season game. This is now a competitive scenario. So let's see how these boys do. Hopefully, with a bit of luck, you know, if they go out and we're winning the game comfortably, then we might be able to empty the bench with some more youngsters that are on the bench as well. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly that. Look, again, for people that haven't seen the lineup, the bench is Forster and Austin, Dorrington, Van der Ven, Casanova. I love that name. Bentancur, Madison, Kulu, Ajayi, Johnson, and Solanke. I was expecting for this game, I thought Johnson would continue to start because he's in such a good rate of form. I'm sort of where Rooty Toot is here with what they said. This is what I was feeling. Do it the other way. Start strong, get the goals, then bring on the youngsters to have fun rather than throw the youngsters in at the beginning to sort of try and win the game early. But look, everybody in the fan base, or certainly most people in the fan base, have been screaming that Ange doesn't trust the youth, Ange doesn't play the kids, and now he's done it, and it'll be interesting. I am a little bit surprised Solanke's not starting either, but he's Basuma straight back in. But Bentancur's on the bench. I mean, Bobby, do you think Bentancur's playing the best he's ever played for Spurs at the minute?
I don't know about the best he's ever played for Spurs, but he's definitely been playing very well since he's had that issue with the whole Sonny escapade and everything. So he's come back and he's doing everything we want from him out of that position. So how can you sit here and say that he hasn't been doing well, or he's not doing his job? At least that's all we really ask for from most of our players, that they just come out and just put in their shift, just do your job, you know. And he's been doing that. So I've got absolutely no criticisms for the guy. Nothing at all. I think he's been fantastic. I think he's really, really taken into the fact that he's under this negative pressure right now with this whole up in the air situation that's going to happen regarding this. I don't know, what is it, an investigation or whatever the hell you call it. I don't even really pay attention to that stuff. But I think, you know, it's good on him to just kind of ignore it and just concentrate on the football, almost similar to what Johnson is doing. Yeah,
I agree. Jose, with regards to the midfield, are you surprised that he's playing the midfield that he is? Like, he's brought Basuma in. Obviously, Bergvall will be our sort of Madison, but he's also got Sarr in as well. So, I mean, I don't know what you think. That sounds quite reasonably defensive midfield. Would you agree, or how do you see it?
Right. So for me, right, and everyone, it's personal opinions that we all have as fans. Yeah. For me, Bentancur, if all the midfielders, and I'm including Madders, Kulu here, if all the midfielders, right, at peak form, right, all at peak, they're at their very, very best. For me, Bentancur is the best midfielder we've got at the club, and I've said that all along. Now, Bentancur has played that disciplined role. Ange doesn't call it a 6, so let's say midfielder, right? He's played that disciplined midfielder role in front of the two centre halves. And he's won the ball, and as soon as he wins the ball, instead of ball carrying like he did under Conte, he releases the ball straight away to Kulu, Madders, or the players out wide, so we go into transition straight away. And it's worked really well because we stumbled across Kulu and Madders playing in the triangular, and the players have played really, really well together. Now, with Bentancur, we know that he's got an impending hearing because he's been charged. He's got an impending hearing coming up. I honestly don't know what date the hearing is, but I've got a feeling it's going to be sooner rather than later. And if you're going to take out, you're going to give Bentancur a rest so he plays against Brighton, then for me, the natural player that plays in that midfield role would be Basuma. I find Bergvall is more your Madison Kulu type player. And with Pape Sarr, I think Pape Sarr will become that type of player as well, in the sense that he won't play as the holding midfielder. He'll play as the one of the two. So to me, it makes absolute sense that Sarr comes in, because these players, we can't have burnout. Our squad's thin, and we've got to be honest about this. Our squad is thin. Yes, we've got a B team. We've got a B list of players, and we're using some tonight. But our squad is ultimately thin, and at the end of the day, we're going to be playing 3 games a week from now till Christmas, or to now till December, or to the end of the year, and players are going to need a rest. Can't overload the players too much. So for me, it makes sense to have a lineup like this. The other thing I will say is, thank God, if he's looking at me and he's listened to me, Vicario's in the team, because I
Yes.
really didn't want Forster.
Yes.
If we were going to give someone else a chance, I wanted Austin to be given a chance. But with the process that Vicario's gone through since the summer, where he's trying to get better at, he owned up in the summer saying that he needed to get better at certain things. For the process that he's going on to become that better goalkeeper, then it probably does need him to play more often than not. So I'm glad that he's actually playing tonight.
Yeah, I would agree. A few people have asked who Casanova is. It Dante Casanova, his name is. He's 20 and he's a centre back, young kid. I don't know too much about him, but I mean, Jose, do you watch a lot of the under 21s?
Casanova can play centre back, but he's more a right back.
Okay.
Plays more right back, but he does play centre. He's covered at centre half as well. Same as Dorrington. Dorrington's a centre half, but can play left back. Do you see what I mean? Equally comfortable playing on the left. Casanova's equally comfortable playing on the right, so to speak. It doesn't surprise me that our youngsters, because as I said, our squad is thin. We've got Noah Doggy and Song. They didn't travel for trying to protect them, or a precaution for their injuries. You've got Odebert out as well, injured. You've got Richarlison out injured. So that takes 4 players out of your squad. Then we didn't have the biggest squad to start with. So therefore, coming into this game tonight, I think you can have. I think in Europe you're allowed 10 subs on the subs bench. I think there's 10 there, if I'm right. So that's a 21-man squad, right? And you're taking 4 of your first teamers out of it straight away. And
there's 11 on the bench.
11.
Oh, is it? Okay, so you can.
It's 11 on the bench, yeah.
So there's 4 players out through assorted injuries. Dragison's suspended, and then you've got Spence and Reguilon, who are not in the Europa squad. That's 7 players. That's a lot of players to have out. So therefore, we had to for this game, or for Europe, if that happens, we're going to have to rely on our B list.
Yeah. 808 watching, only 100 and something likes, which is just not good enough. I mean, that is just outrageous.
Unacceptable, folks. Come on, get pumped up and push that button, baby.
That's right. That's exactly right.
And it's free.
Yeah, and there's not a lot that you get for free these days. The legends themselves, Ben and Sim, will be doing the watch along at, I believe it starts in an hour's time. So yeah, the OGs will be there doing the watch along today.
Sorry, I just want to quickly address the comment that you brought up. I believe it was from Rudy Toots saying that he would prefer to start strong and then bring on the youngsters. Yeah. My issue with that is, if we do that, what happens if we're down? You can't really bring the youngsters on then. We don't have the opportunity to change the game into our favor. With keeping our big guns on the bench, I think it helps us and puts us in a stronger position that we can bring them on afterwards if needed. Hopefully they're not needed. If anything, I'd like to see Porro come off, and like you said, your Casanova boy maybe go in. I'd like to see maybe even what else did we have there? You just had it up there, the lineup there. So we got Forster, Austin's not coming. Dorrington maybe come on. We see Gray, maybe we see Basuma come off, and we push Gray into that holding role. Dorrington come off, going to that center back role. Casanova goes to the right for Porro. Ajayi?
I don't actually know much about this kid.
I don't either. Our resident expert, Jose.
Yeah, Ajayi plays midfield. Plays wide midfield, and he plays midfield and wide midfield.
Okay, so we'll bring him on for we'll bring him on for Werner. Perfect. Okay, I'm done.
That's why Bobby Kay won Coach of the Year. What can we say? That right there.
Keeps it simple, baby.
He keeps it simple. That's what I was going to say. He keeps it simple. Why complicate? Football's easy. Why complicate it?
Yeah.
Pass the ball, shoot it into the net.
The only
Go,
criticism
kids!
I'd have, yeah, exactly. The only criticism I'd have, which you kind of did touch on there, Bobby, is I'd love to see Gray playing in the midfield. That's where he wants to play. That's his preferred position. Is it a case, Jose, that he might get a chance there? Is it a case of needs must? We need him where he is at the minute. What do you think?
It's difficult. I think at the moment it's needs must, to be honest. I mean, if you look at the four that are starting today, and then you look at the bench, and you think to yourself, Van der Ven, yeah, he's a first teamer. But then you look at the rest of the people that you've got on the bench in defensive players, you know, you're more or less forced here to pick these four players. Gray for me is a central midfielder, right? But you know, at the end of the day, I think it's needs must at the moment. I think it probably may well be needs must for a while this season. And, you know, it'll probably be later on in the season if he's going to get his chance in midfield, he'll get it later on in the season. It's just the squad that we've got at the moment. So he's actually covering and, you know, helping us out because our squad is thin. So,
yeah, I would agree. I believe he prefers to play on his right foot. I don't know if he can play with both, but I know he's preferably on his right foot. So, yeah, someone just put that they've got to kick off early because they've got to be in bed by 9:30.
Oh my God,
good.
that's the comment of the day so far.
Yes.
So, folks, hit the like button and get your comments in because you got to beat Groucho's comment here because this is the legendary comment of the day today.
It is.
All right. Every time I do a pump up, I'm picking a comment of the day, and Groucho, you're winning right now. Groucho is in the lead, folks. Let's see who can take him down.
That is a great comment.
I love it. I love it.
Again, yeah, unfortunately, Spence isn't in the Europa League squad.
But we got two goalies on the bench.
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't we? That can change in January, I believe. Now, this team we're playing, I can't say I know much about them. I don't watch Hungarian leagues, but they have won the league.
We've never played them.
We've never played them, no. But they've won the league.
We looked and we've never played them. Ange played against them with Celtic twice, apparently.
Right, okay. But they've won their league 6 years in a row, which I'm not sure if that's much of an achievement. I don't know much about the league. But are they the Man City of Budapest?
But Qarabag, is it, from the last game? They had won something like 11 out of the last 15.
They did.
No, they won 11 on the spin.
Oh, they won 11
on the spin, yeah.
I mean, there's obviously, I was looking in the last 4 of the last 5 of their fixtures have had over 2.5 goals, and 5 of the last 6 of Tottenham's fixtures have had over 2.5 goals. So you would think there will be lots of goals in this game. Jose, have you seen anything of this team? Do you know anything about them? Should we be passing by them quite easily? What's your thoughts?
Ferencvaros, back in the day, because I'm a lot older than you guys, but back in the day, Ferencvaros, Uppgestalsa, MTK Budapest, they were all the teams that were feared it was all like behind the Iron Curtain back in the 70s and 80s. And these teams were difficult opponents to play against back then. In saying that, I haven't seen much of Ferencvaros played now, but I've seen the results. I've done a bit of the homework and looked at their results. But what I would say, and I'm not the professional in, I don't get paid to sell at the side. I don't get paid to coach the team. But it's interesting to see the lineup that was put out last week against Qarabag compared to the lineup that we've put out this week. So we've got a lot more youngsters in the team this week than what we had for the Qarabag game. Now, whether Tottenham see this as an easier game, I don't know, because we're away, we're not at home. We were at home last week, and on paper, and I'm just saying on paper, we may have gone slightly stronger last week than what we had this week. So,
yeah, I think there's a little bit of sarcasm there with the harder game than Man United. If any of the frontline squad stay, they will probably get a sticker. Yeah.
A little gold star.
But what I want from everybody,
and candy.
This is us included, right? Is we've all screamed till we're blue in the faces since pre-season. We want to see more. We want to see Lancashire. We want to see Berger. We want to see these players. Now, at the end of the day, let the players play. Don't berate. Just let them play. Let's them find themselves, and let's see where we go with them. Let's go on this journey and support these players. Let's not throw them under the bus. And that is really important. Starts today.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we're going to need to give these guys a little bit of patience. I mean, Mikey Moore came on the other day against Manchester United, only had a few minutes and nearly scored an absolute belter.
Exactly. Flashed it right over that crossbar. It was beauty.
I mean,
And Bergvals's got to start after being pulled in the last one. Was 5 6 minutes he got to play?
Yeah.
Not his fault, but.
No, that was sad, actually. I did really feel for him. Who are you most excited about seeing out of this lineup, Bobbo?
More. We've been like Jose just said it. We've been screaming to see this kid. You just touched on it. He came on and in a couple of minutes flashed one right over the crossbar and looked lively and looked hungry. And this is all you want. I want to see guys play with some passion for this badge and some passion for the club and say, I'm so proud to be wearing this Tottenham Hotspur's jersey. I'm so proud to come out there and respect this club and get to play for this historical club that has just this great tradition. I want to relive all this stuff. I want to smash everything in front of me. I want to run them over. And that's exactly what I want to see out of these kids. Exactly what I want to see. I just hope they really can inspire us because I know I'm inspired by them. I want that returned to me now. Go out there, show why your young legs have been trusted today, and just get the job done and really, really just take advantage of your opportunity. You've been given one.
Exactly that. Jose, are you the same? Is it more that floats your boat the most? Is that who you're most looking forward to see, or someone else?
I want to see, in all honesty, I want to see how they all play. I watched them in pre-season. I was excited in pre-season by seeing them and what they could do, what they could offer, and they have a fearlessness about them. And for me, it's not just one player. Yeah, everyone's talking about Mikey Moore, but then people were making comparisons about Lancashire, watching him. People have made comparisons about Bergval. People have been talking about Gray. I want to see these players all play and let them play with fear. Today we'll find out what they're about. They're up against a team that we know nothing about, who are winning their league, who are unbeaten in their league, have won 6 out of 6. At the end of the day, Europe's not easy, and today I don't see it being any different. I'm not going to go in and turn around and say, do you know what? We're going to go in and absolutely trump them. I'm not saying that. At the end of the day, let's see where they go and where they take us.
Why are you being so negative?
For me, it's all the youngsters. For me, it's all the youngsters. I want to watch them all. I just want to see how the team does in a competitive match with these players. What I'm hoping is that they play really well, and they make Ange have to think more and more about future selections in the Premiership as well.
Yeah, I agree. I am really looking forward to seeing more Lancashire. Like you say, I'm just looking forward to seeing what they do, because I think in pre-season we saw that they don't have any fear and they look like they just love going out there, and they were just knocking the ball around like it was a game over the park. And I think sometimes that's the key. If they're really enjoying their game and they haven't got the fear, who knows? They could do special things tonight. I'm excited. And, of course, Romero is captain again tonight. I actually thought Van der Ven was going to start tonight, even though Ange said he thinks he needs a rest. I had a feeling he was going to go really strong at the back.
He doesn't need a rest. He never needs to rest. He can play 3 games back to back. He's the greatest human specimen of a football player ever born. Okay? Second to Maldini. And I said it. I said it. I honestly, all jokes aside, I've loved this kid since the second he put our shirt on. He put that kid on, and you guys all know I've told everybody I leave my wife and children for him. That's how much I adore this guy, right? But the fact that he's even growing into it and he's just getting more and more love, it's just fantastic. I absolutely love it. Going into the youngsters thing, the only thing I really, really hope for is the opposite doesn't happen, that they don't shine, that they don't take advantage of their opportunities, and they get completely berated the way Johnson does. That's the only thing. Fans, please, 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 if by unfortunate circumstance they're not that wonderful, show the boys some love. Show them that we are behind them and that we know they're going to fill the boots properly one day. They might not be there yet. They will get there, and they've got to be encouraged to get there. So big up every player that wears the Spurs kit.
Exactly that. Yeah, the keeper is behind my head. We've got Vicario right above me there. Bless him. I was going to say a few people have been questioning the starting of Timo Werner. I have to stick up for him a little bit here. I don't think he had a bad game against United, aside from his finishing, which was atrocious, but he put in some good crosses. He got in some good positions. Jose, are you like me? Are you kind of just got everything crossed and hoping and praying this guy proves his hate as well?
Yeah, I was like that at the start of the season, Kate, and nothing's changed for me. At the end of the day, we're thin on the ground with the squad that we've got, and I wanted, personally myself, I wanted Johnson and Werner both to go out, and the only way you can shut up the critics is by your GA. It's the only way you can do it. Shut up your critics by doing that.
Yeah.
And although Werner hasn't got the numbers that Johnson's got against Manchester United, he did everything right, apart from the 2 chances which the goalkeeper saved, which people are going to turn around. Yeah, but he should have scored them. But other than that, he did everything right. And even the goals that were saved, I, on the other hand, would say he got the opportunity. And that's something we weren't getting. We were having all the ball in our earlier games this season, and then when you looked at our clear-cut chances, we didn't have that many. Now we're creating chances and clear-cut chances of that. Now, if you create 10 clear-cut chances, then you're bound to score some out of them 10, and that's what we did against Man United. Had he put them both away, then we'd be having a different conversation right now.
Yeah.
So to me, personally, before the start of the season, I wanted him to be a success for our club, and I want Johnson to be a success for our club. At the end of the day, I always want Tottenham to win, and if Tottenham winning takes us using Werner and Johnson, then so be it. It's a team game. It's not individualistic. It's a team game, and we want to win games. And to win games, you're going to need everybody. He just needs to sharpen the pencil a bit more, and and I'm hoping tonight, let's see if he can put a performance on tonight, and let's see if he gets opportunities tonight to shine, because at the end of the day, he's the one with the most experience out of our front 3 tonight. So maybe you might have Mikey Moore and Lanks, you're looking up at him. Who knows?
And I do personally think these are the games where if he's ever going to shine, it's going to be in the European games. But I just feel, Bobby, like he's going through the worst crisis of confidence, much like Richarlison did. And if he just can get one goal, I've got a feeling the floodgates might open a little bit. I don't know what you think. Am I being too optimistic?
Well, we know that's the impact that it has on attacking players and the forward line players, that if they're not scoring or getting assists, then obviously your confidence is going to go down. That's natural at any level.
Yeah.
Right. I've seen it with my kids from the ages of 11 all the way to 20. If they're not putting the ball in the back of the net, you suddenly start denting yourself. You start questioning yourself. Forget what other people are saying. It's when you start having that self-doubt kind of thing, it really, really starts hurting you. And you must see something in this kid, just the same way he saw something in Johnson and he protected him. That guy came out like a Papa Bear saying, "Don't you touch my Cubs." I absolutely loved it. And I wonder if, I don't like going backwards, but I wonder if Dele Alli had that kind of support from his management in the club. Had he been supported properly, what kind of situation would be in? Werner being started, giving him these opportunities. People argue it's because of circumstance that we're lacking the players necessary to fill that role. Is it necessary? Is it really though? Because we could push Porter up to right wing, put more on the left. Right? There is options, right? But he is needed. There's a reason he was kept. There's a reason we're paying his wages. We just got to get behind him. And I, for one, like you two, are hoping he can actually get an assist or just do something, that magic moment today, just that one little inspirational moment that gives him that fire the way Johnson has got it lit in him right now. It's all we can hope for. And Werner, I know I've been one of your critics as a player. I don't like the things you've done sometimes. I've been frustrated with your passing, but you are getting in the right positions. There are a lot of things you're doing right, but unfortunately, fans, we like to point out the things you're doing wrong, right? We're not going to give you credit for doing 95% of the job. We give you credit when you do 100%. So today, I really hope you hit that 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And as Ravin says here, he was devastating in the Bundesliga, scored over 100 goals. You don't become a bad player overnight. I think with a player like Werner, and I think with a lot of attacking players, it is all about confidence. And if you're going through a really bad goal drought, the fans are on your back, you feel the pressure. I don't care if he gets a dodgy deflection and gets a goal. I think he just needs to get his name on the score sheet, and I think his confidence will start growing. I had planned into going into the Brennan 4-4, Solanke 3-3. Why can't they?
You just did.
I know, but they're not playing. They're not playing. So I was going to go.
You don't know if they're going to come on after, Kate, so we can still touch on it.
Yeah, we could still touch on it. I mean,
me and Jose like when you touch stuff.
I personally would have had an absolute guarantee that Brennan will get 5 in 5 and Solanke will get 4 in 4 today had they started. But let's assume they do come on. Are they going to score today, Bobby?
Yes. I'd love to see Johnson get another one. I really would. I would love to see this kid not just hush his critics, but completely shut them up and send them back under the little troll bricks that he crawled out of. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm loving what this kid's been doing. I'm loving the response he's had. I'm when he walked off against Coventry and scoring a game winner, that video was literally heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah.
And that turnaround now, boy, you've inspired me, man. And I don't doubt you've inspired a lot of other Spurs fans. That's why I, again, say, let's support them, guys. We don't know what they can do. We don't know what they'll achieve if we push them. We really get behind them and say, you know what? We know you can do this. You had an off day. It's okay. You're going to get them next time. Right? I really feel that is needed sometimes. Positive energy creates, greatness.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do got to harp on, but criticism helps too. I'm not sitting here saying just hold their hands and say, hey, you're doing a great job today. Let's go to the candy shop. No. But they do need to be supported properly. If we're going to berate them and break them down, you got to build them up.
Exactly that. Jose Belagi, I hope I've said that right, says they don't like the lineup. It's got 0 experience. I would argue, actually, it's got quite a nice balance of the two, because although you've got more in Lancashire up the front, you've got Werner, who's got a
World Cup winner captaining our team.
Exactly. You've got Basuma and Sarr, like you say. Sarr's only young. He's had a lot of experience. Romero, Davis. I mean, Jose, do you think that Ange has got the balance right here?
It's what, right? We need rotation. And at the end of the day, we're so thin. We haven't got a thin squad, and I've already named 7 players that are not in the squad tonight who would be deemed to be first team players who are not playing. Sorry, they're not all deemed to be first team players, but would affect a first team or a bench. You've got 7 of them missing. So, and you've got to give people minutes, because you can't burn out everyone. So there's a really good balance there, and I'm excited because you got some of the older heads. Look, if you watch Basuma play football, right, and then you watch Mikey Moore or Lancashire play football or Bergvall play football, Basuma, it looks like he's playing football with a cigar in his mouth, all right, because he's been a pro for years, right. Where these youngsters, they're going to be everywhere. They're going to be doing absolutely everything to impress, because at the end of the day, they're going to want to affect the first team going forward. No footballer, even anyone that's played the game, wants to sit on a bench or not be involved at all. You want to be on that pitch in that first 11. So these players have got a point to prove. They want to go out there to impress in order to be given an opportunity where they make Ange think, hold on, maybe they are ready to get a start. Hold on. So if we lose, if we need to replace Maddison, Bergvall's ready. If we need to replace Sonny, Mikey Moore is ready to switch some game time. Yes, but you won't find this out unless you give them the chance. So I think tonight it makes quite clear sense to me, when I predicted the lineup before the game started. It makes quite clear sense to me that some of the players that have been given a rest have been given a rest. The player that I'm surprised about, and I will say this now, is Maddison, because I was led to believe that Maddison had done the press conference with Ange, and normally the player that does the press conference is playing in the match, and Maddison's not in that lineup tonight. So I'm quite surprised. That's the surprise that I've got from that.
Yeah.
Again, Jose, that's Ange being nice, saying, I'll give you guys a chance.
Yeah. I mean, that is true. Normally it would be, that is true. I never thought of that, but look, I'm sure Ange knows exactly what he's doing, but we have got over 1,000 people watching now and 259 likes.
How many?
Over 1,000.
741 of you haven't hit the like button?
I know, it's outrageous.
741 of you? Why do you not like Kate? I can understand the 200 of you hit the like button for me, but what did Kate and Jose do? Show them some love too, folks. Come on now.
Exactly. Yes, we are Tottenham TV. It's Bobby Kate, certainly is. I won't sing it, but we're coming on to the best part of the show, the time where you can all get involved.
Because
I'm not singing it.
The like comment I just made.
No, because no one needs to hear my voice.
The legend Ben, one of the godfathers of the YouTube community on We Are Tottenham TV, created a song for me, wrote it, and then serenaded me with it. Don't be jealous.
It's Bobby K. It's Bobby K. There you go. No one needs to hear that, let me tell you.
Oh, I do. Trust me, this is such an ego boost.
This is the time when all the chat needs to get involved because we want to know the score and the scorers for tonight's match. In case you need reminding to pick the scorers, that is the lineup. I did ask Jimbo before we come on what his score prediction will be, and it was 5-0 with the answer of, I don't care who scores. It can be anyone as long as we win. So
that's a bit pessimistic from Jim, isn't it?
I know. I was expecting 12 or 13. He's so negative today.
Yeah, it's very negative. He's not feeling well. Big up, Jimbo.
Bobby, what's your score prediction and who are your goal scorers?
Honestly, you know how it is when it comes to score predictions. I try to be a little more realistic and stuff than my usual diluted self. So I'm going to go... we'll go 3-0 again. Let's keep the European three. Every game in Europe, I want to win 3-0 until we get to the final, and we win that one 3-1, like somebody had already predicted. So based on that, I'm going to go 3-0. I would love to see Bergvall pop one in. I would love to see Moore pop one in, and I'm going to give the last one to Werner. I hope that kid can get on the score sheet. So come on, let's go.
Yes, and I think that'll be the third 3-0 on the spin, if I'm correct. If we do manage to go 3-0, we got a 2-0 Basuma and Moore, 4-1 Werner brace with Moore and Lancashire, says Bob Down Under. 4-1 Moore and Lancashire braces. I'm loving these scorelines.
I'll take it.
Gavin saying 13-0, Vicario scoring all 13.
Gavin, that's ridiculous. He can only score 12.
Yeah, another great comment was, have you guys heard the rumours about Mickey van der Ven? Rumours has it that he ran to Budapest, like he ran through Man United defence instead of going by plane.
Well, that's a contention for comment of the day there.
It is. Jose, what do you fancy for the score and the scorers?
I'm going to be really boring and say to you that for me, it's just the win is what matters, the 3 points. So equally, I'll take a 1-0 as I would a 5-0. But 3 points. But what I will say is that I'd like to see Lancashire on the score sheet. I'd like to see Mikey Moore on the score sheet. I'd like to see Werner on the score sheet. I'd like to see Bergvall on the score sheet. Who else do I? Let's put Gray on the score sheet as well.
So Jose's prediction is actually 5-0, not 1-0. Like you said,
I'd like to see Solanke get a goal. I'd like to see Johnson get... Listen, I want everyone to score. I want all 16 players that are allowed to be used tonight to score, and Vicario be given a penalty. And then like that, we win 16-0. But like that, in all honesty, whether we win 1-0 or 5-0, whether we win 1-0 or 5-0, for me, it's just get the 3 points. I want us to qualify from this Europa League in the top 8. I want us to get it done as soon as possible. People are saying, how many points do you reckon you need to finish in the top 8? Well, I got my answer for me the other day in the show I did, because one person in the chat said, you need 16 points and you're definitely going to be in the top 8. Oh, where'd you get that from? It's the first season. And they said, oh, it's already been released on Football Manager.
Nice. There we go.
And with the brace comes off on the side.
Yeah, exactly. And scoring the 2. 16-0, everyone scores. Yeah, that'd be amazing. I am going to go with another 3-0 win, much like Bobby did. I'm going to go 3-0 to the Spurs, and I am going to go Bergvall to score. I'm going with my head and my heart, not my head, when I say Werner to score. Please let him score. And I'm going to go Mikey Moore to score as well. Yeah, I mean, I'm much like you guys. I don't care who scores or what the score is.
That was exactly the same thing. We have never agreed. Are you feeling okay?
Did we pick the same scorers?
Same scorers too? Are you feeling okay?
I don't know. Maybe because you're underneath me and I'm on top of you. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh, that's just all in your head.
We've got Nathan King saying 4-1 Spurs, more Lancashire, Solanke and Biss to score a rocket. That would be nice. 8-0 Spurs, Vicario and Ange to score half each. Love that. Brilliant Bob saying Tottenham Hotspur are the greatest the world has ever seen. Yes, they are. 36-0, said Stephen Wilson, highest ever score. There we go. Let's hope that happens. I don't think anyone's predicted a loss. Christian has predicted a draw, which is a bit boring. We don't want that. We want to win. 1-0, no injuries. Yes, that's very important.
That's a very good point. Very good. Yeah, definitely can't afford to do more injuries.
Yeah, 4-1 Lancashire, Bergvale, Werner 2, 5-0. Listen, Ben and Sim are doing the watch along, which I think starts in round about half an hour's time. So make sure you all go over. Let him know that
the kickoff's in half
an hour. They're probably starting in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, sorry, they're starting at half past the hour. That's what I meant to say.
Okay.
Just let them know that we didn't blow up the studio or anything. That everything's still all right.
You can't say stuff like that with me on stream.
Oh, Romero gets a penalty. That'd be interesting. 3-1 Bergvale, more Lancashire. 2-0 win Lancashire scoring. 3-0 Vicario with an assist. Porro with a 30-yard bomb. 3-0.
That'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yes. And Werner will score today.
Let's hope so, Tony.
Let's hope so. Please, everyone, go over and subscribe to Jose at El Tel Cockerel. Does a great predictions league over there, and it's just a nice chilled show to cover all things Spurs. And also Mr. Bobby K over at Free Spurs Boys, who does
the opposite.
some Spurs.
The opposite. We do not. This is not the place you come for a nice football, cool chat. If you want to mess around and do the boys in the pub, have a drink and a lot of vulgarity, I'm your boy.
There you go. I didn't want to say that, but it's self-confessed. So, and also,
you know what? No, you know what it is. Honestly, we've got a lot of new subs and stuff like that. So when we do our Saturday night show compared to when we do our Actually Talk Football show, and they're like, "What in the hell happened all of a sudden here?" Keep the volume a little bit lower if the kids are around. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly that. Also, please subscribe to me. Ben and Sim have been kind enough to put our channels in the title of the video. So please go and subscribe. Got a last minute super chat from Kaylee Davis saying 2-1. I hope none of the young guys get injured. Yes. Very true.
Any injury, no injuries whatsoever. We don't need injuries.
Exactly.
Come back safe and sound, everybody.
Yes, please. And also thank you to Jason Green, who also did a super chat earlier today. Bobby, Jose, it's been a pleasure as always. Let's hope we win. Cheer on the lads, everyone.
Well, he can't end like that. What do you mean we hope we win?
Okay, forget that. Let's rewind. Bobby, Jose, thanks for joining me. Can't wait to watch the boys win in half an hour's time. Can't wait to see them smash the granny out of Ferencvaros.
Well, just let him say it. Just let him say it, man.
Ferencvaros.
Yeah, what did he say?
Ferencvaros. Why does it sound Italian when I say it? I don't know. But anyway, make sure you go over in 15 minutes, join Ben and Sim. Smash a like for the guys. Subscribe to the channel. Have a great evening, everyone. And as always, come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you mighty Spurs in the big hands. I trust.